nsfw. What's your favorite non-sexual act of intimacy? When he rubs my back gently while we're out in public. It seems like he's comforting me, but it's more about him feeling awkward in a social situation and not knowing what to do. I'm like his support animal. This one's my favorite. Hugs. Tight hugs, every better. Now I feel like giving hugs. An unexpected note from her, saying anything. I'm leaving you for Francesco. Edit. Cool, my first award. Savage lol. Had to be Francesco too. Being draped over each other in bed or on the couch reading our own books, sharing physical space, with our minds in different worlds. Very grounding and comforting. It's been 7 years since I was last in a relationship with a fellow reader. I miss this so much. I feel you. What do you like to read? Cuddling. Cuddling naked. Gotta get that skin contact in, bro. Only for the homies though. Kisses that don't lead to making out. Kisses on the forehead, cheeks, tip of the nose, hands, or just random places like the shoulder, or the stomach lol. Yap yap. Loved doing that to my ex-girlfriend. A bunch of little kisses on her face, neck, whatever. Especially when wishing good night. And I especially loved her happy face expression. Yes, it's the best before sleeping. Just sitting in the person's lap, legs wrapped around the waist, and face in neck. Not sexual, just holding each other. Really makes me feel safe. Sounds nice, but I'm 6 feet 3 inches and weigh about 300. I'd freaking crush someone if I sit in their lap. Ah, can't relate. I'm a solid 5'2". My fiance likes to face me, put her arms around me like a hug, and stand on my feet. Then we walk around our apartment trying to do things that way. It's kind of like mittens in that it just makes everything more difficult but is adorable. I also like to do that, but with myself, and I put my hands on my face and it involves crying. I got you, dude. Virtually standing on your feet right now, laughing together, not like day-to-day hard-nosed puffs and whatnot, but those fits of hysterics where I have tears and my boyfriend has this specific high-pitched cackle-giggle hybrid that only comes out in moments where we are both holding nothing back in. We're just two humans doing this being a live thing together, and our individual existence is better for it. Feels incredibly intimate in that way. You mean the Ron Swanson giggle? Always find your own personal Ron Swanson. A back rub. I'm amazed this isn't higher up. I love it when my husband rubs my back, whether it's just gentle rubbing or an actual deep tissue massage. I also love when he gently strokes the inside of my forearm or the tops of my feet. The skin there is sensitive. We've been together for almost 18 years and none of these things have become old news. It still feels like the best thing ever. Every time when he starts, it sometimes seems like he hadn't touched me in weeks. Even if he rubbed my back the night before, I'm like an addict, getting my hair brushed and played with. Yep, this. We both love it. Having a deep talk with someone who completely understands me. Wonder what that feels like. That hand holding really does it for me. I bet you're the type of person that interlaces their hands instead of just grabbing them. You should be ashamed of yourself. I don't care what the world thinks about my kinks. I wear mittens. I love putting my cheek on my boyfriend's cheek. Face cheeks, y'all. My wife and I do that and look into each other's eye. We call it whale eye. Whale, I'll be damned. I do the same thing. I slow blink at my girl when we make eye contact from afar, and she returns the slow blink. Very animalistic and gets me going. Is your girl a cat? She a cat? Lol, my master taught this to me. Yes. NGT, non-sexual, and GT, NSFW, pick one. Hey, hand-holding is pretty NSFW if you ask me. When our 3-year-old yells, group hug, and we all have to put down whatever we're doing and hug each other. Cuddle huddle, surprise hugs. I'm used to being the giver of surprise hugs, and I used to be in a kinda rough relationship. She was abusive. Fast forward to my new girlfriend who is amazing and kind. I was minding my own business, working, and suddenly I feel warmth wrap around me and I legit jumped. Like, it felt nice, but it also was very surprising, and I was like a split second from wrenching away from said arms until I recognized the son of my baby. Lol, definitely an odd feeling for someone that's never had it before. Cute one. When holding hands with my fiance, we will squeeze 2 or 3 times in a row just as a check-in, to let the person know we are okay. It went from a thing we only did when hanging out to a way to check in with the other person if we are in a high-stress environment, without having to talk. Weird one. If we are both barefoot, I'll put my big toe between my fiance's big toe per second toe and sing the Spice Girls 2 Become One. I have no idea when it started, but it's been going on for years. This is the relationship I strive for. When the pizza slice enters my mouth, I bite down and get that delicious taste of greatness. The pizza knows, I know, the universe is as one. This has no other replies RN because no one knows how TF to respond. Have my upvote. Wrapped up under a blanket watching movies while she's wearing my t-shirt or hoodie. And she's got a messy bun on her head and glasses instead of contacts. Keep going. I'm almost there. Butt naked cuddles. No groping or anything, just cuddling. Under the covers, nothing on. Warm, intimate, makes me sleepy. That is really nice. Any form of cuddling is great, but that way it's better. It's nice, but it leads to 100% of the time for me, then more naked cuddling after, which is nicer. My boyfriend and I started to introduce our kids to one another. There was a moment when they were all playing together really nicely and we just looked at each other and smiled, like we were both thinking the same exact happy thought. It was a perfect moment. I want this. The last two ladies I've tried that with have gotten mama bear instincts and put an end to it. No fights between the kids, just random retreat. I don't understand. My ex used to stick her feet underneath me to warm them up. I guess it's called nurdling. I really miss that. Thermal vampire. Head pats. Fingers through hair. Belly rubs, as weird as it sounds. I had a partner that would randomly stick his hand under my shirt and just gently rub my belly. He'd say my skin was so soft and just do it over and over. I had to get over a bit of insecurity to get to a point where I didn't care, but now it feels so comforting. That's either really sweet and cute or he was sizing you up to make a skin lamp. I don't think there's an in-between. Looking into my eyes with a happy smile, giving caresses or massages, and generally doting on someone. Forehead kisses. I replaced someone that had been in my role for 5 years at a Japanese-owned company. Luckily, he stayed for several weeks after I started, and I was able to sit with him and learn what he did, which is something I've never really had in my career. On his last day, one of the employees from Japan, whom my predecessor really liked and respected, came into our office and bowed very deeply and with a great reverence, while putting his hands together and making eye contact. Then he gave him a big hug and said goodbye. It was my first time seeing a bow like that outside of a dojo in Taekwondo, and was quite a moving thing to observe. That's a big deal, especially if the other guy was higher status than the employee who is leaving. Scalp massages. I give them to my boyfriend all the time and he loves it. Spoons. We have it all worked out where my arm is beneath her pillow so it doesn't fall asleep. Snuggling on the couch. I remember when my brother broke his arm and I was trying to keep calm for him, but I was sweating profusely and my best friend wiped the sweat off my face. It was one of those things where only people really close to you can do, or at least for me. It was the gentle take care of you kind of things. Sustained eye contact as a form of communication and an expression of affection. It also helps that my eyes are stunning, so looking deeply into them makes my heart full every time. I know this sounds like a joke, but the most intimate thing I've ever did is letting a girl borrow my phone charger. The sad thing is when she went to give me a high five, I looked behind me to see who she was gonna give a high five to. Holding and being held by someone else. Resting my head against her shoulder. IDK feels nice smiley face. When my GF scratches my head or the way she smiles while making eye contact with me. Back scratches and hair brushing. Hunting together. Nothing more of a bonding experience than hunting down a human together and murdering that person. Hold up. When someone holds me by the waist, vibing to music together, basically, bossing me around, making sure I eat, I shower, I do my homework, I clean my room and car, I take my insulin and Wellbutrin. I get so depressed I just stop caring, and having someone care enough to make me is amazing. I know it's childish of me, but those little things make me keep trying sometimes. A hand on the back of my neck, right where it meets my head. General understanding face touches is a close second. Walking or sitting across a beautiful scenery without the need to have even a single word. This is the best form of communication in my opinion. I love me some good hugging. I do chest presses for the sole purpose of being so good at hugging, cuddling, hand-holding, and being close together like shoulder touching while walking. This may suck to other people's answer, but reciprocation of energy. Washing your partner's hair is the most intimate thing you can do with your fingers. An inside joke and routine an ex and me had was that one of us would say, "I like you a lot," then the other would follow up with, "It's like a little," and then the one who initiated finish up by saying, "But a lot." Touch foreheads while facing each other. cuddling and head pats. Frankly, even if I could never have it, it'd be all I need. With the right person at least. Eating junk food while watching Simpsons. Playing Minecraft together. Holding hands. I know I'm a sick. My husband used to be super fit, so hugging him was kinda lame. Now that he's gained some mass, I like being the big spoon and cupping his tummy. There's something about it that just makes me think, I love this man and I love this tummy. When you're sitting together cuddling and both laugh hard at the same thing at the same time, and you both kind of turn into each other to laugh, and you can feel their body laughing in the air, from it on your face, etc. So freaking awesome. Sounds maybe a bit boring, but I'd say having deep emotional talk. The more hurtful the topic, the better. It feels great to get something off your chest, or be there and work through someone's emotions with them. Both me and my so enjoy staying up all night to talk about traumas or struggles in our lives. That's how we first clicked to begin with. When we one day stayed up all night, and being as tired as we were, we just blurted out something traumatic that had happened to us both, and found that we've been through a similar situation and struggled the same way because of it. Now the two of us take at least one night a week to discuss our feelings or anything else that is bothering us. We cry a lot, but it feels great afterwards. That's one intimate thing I would never leave behind. Back rubs and forehead kisses. Sitting together watching TV or a film, with junk food and comfy clothes. Brushing my girlfriend's hair. Dunno why, it's just a nice quiet moment for both of us. Laying down with someone, cuddling and just talking about whatever for a few hours. Back hugs. Walking down the street holding hands with your SO with both of our hands in one of our pockets. I like to cuddle close without it turning into press our full bodies together spoon style, even little kisses, but as soon as it starts getting sexual, if I'm not the instigator or if my hand is suddenly being guided to a crotch area, it kills it for me and I don't want any of it anymore. When you're holding hands and they stroke your hand with their thumb. Yas. Hugs. My friend group have all decided that hugs are great and are necessary. As a teenage dude, hugs are hard to come by cause you get called or whatever. Now meeting the lads out, the general greeting is a hug. It's a good feeling. Washing my husband's back when he's taking one of his frequent nighttime baths.